Ruling is never easy, and it takes a lot to be on the top of the food chain, whether it's underwater or over land. What does it take to then rule the ocean? Maybe some incredible specialized hunting skills, sharp teeth, ferocious appetite, and few predators. In fact, to rule the ocean, one has to be a killer whale or an orca. But orcas are not only called killer whales, and are also known as blubber chomper in Norway, murder whale in Germany, assassin whale in Portugal, and the feared one in Alaska. So why do orcas have so many names, and why do all of these names insinuate a deadly and powerful animal? But wait, killer whales are not killer whales as you might think because of the name. It does not kill or prey on humans. There are no records of human interaction with them. Instead, they were actually once called whale killers because they were and are the natural predator of the whales. So, who are orcas? Why are they specifically known as killer whales? And how on earth did they rule the gigantic ocean world? We have your answers. Just stay connected with the video. Whenever you thought of gigantic ocean predators, you might have thought about sharks, maybe whales, but the biggest and the one true ruler of the oceans is a dolphin with teeth called orcas, also known as killer whales. Orcas are one of the largest members of the dolphin family, where male orcas are bigger than females. Depending on the type of orca, they can vary in size and weight. The largest orca ever recorded was 32 feet or 9.8 meters in length and weighed about 22,000 pounds or about 10,000 kilograms. The black and white body of an orca is cylindrical and tapered at each end, which forms a hydrodynamic shape. This specific shape and the orca's large size and strength make it among the fastest marine mammals. Orcas can have a speed of about 34 miles per hour, or 56 kilometers per hour. The massive teeth of orcas can grow up to 4 inches long. Killer whales are apex predators of the ocean, which means they have no natural predator in their natural ecosystem. They are hunters, and often hunt in packs. Many orcas or killer whales primarily eat salmon, but some of them can eat anything from fish to seals to sharks and whales. In fact, they have a gluttonous appetite. You might doubt the apex status of orcas in the presence of sharks like great white sharks and whales like blue whales, but you must consider this. On the coast of California, wildlife watchers actually saw a contesting white shark and an orca. And guess who won? The orca, the apex predator. The first recorded and documented interaction between a great white shark and an orca took place in 1997, where 2 orcas killed a white shark and ate its liver and left the rest of its body. A similar incident happened with 5 other sharks in 2017, and the blame of the killings of the sharks fell on the orcas. Orcas are smart and intelligent and often work in groups. The terror of this species on its surrounding ecosystem is very intense. Even their brief presence in some areas can cause the white sharks to immediately evacuate the scene. They are the one true apex predator of the ocean. Why are orcas specifically known as killer whales? The simple answer to this question is because they are the predator of whales. They kill them and eat them. And probably this is the same reason why they were once known as whale killers by a group of observant sailors who saw orcas killing much larger whales. The sailors called orcas assassina ballenas, which means whale killer. Over the period of time, this term eventually flipped around to an easier term, killer whale. But it is not the fact that they kill whales that makes orcas killer whales, but the way they do it does. As mentioned earlier, they often hunt in groups and form certain strategies to kill their prey. For example, they disorient a shark before eating it, and for smaller fish, a carousel of air bubbles will do the job. And in the case of whales, a brutal but workable scheme is used. Orcas take turns ramming, biting, and pulling the whale by its pectoral fins, thereby exhausting the prey. They may try to block the whale's breathing hole, which can result in an eventual drowning of the poor victim. It is also said that a group of orcas tried to prey on a blue whale. Now, just imagine that. Blue whales are the biggest and largest creatures that exist in oceans today. It weighs well over 190 tons. The orcas must have thought something along the lines of, hey, today we feel like eating a blue whale. And then these toothed dolphins actually attacked the blue whale and forced him to flee the scene. Even a giant like the blue whale does not want to mess with orcas in fights. Terrifying, right? Yeah, but in your terror, do not miss the very next interesting part of orcas or killer whale eating habits. Can you believe that they kill the poor whales and sharks only to eat their tongue and liver respectively? Also, this sea monster seems to enjoy the calves of humpback whales the most. Orcas eat only its tongue, maybe because it's the most tasty part of the whale, and leaves the rest of the body for scavengers. It eats the shark's liver, mainly because it contains useful substances. In short, orcas use sharks for vitamins. So, the good news at the end of the question is, fortunately, humans are not on its prey list. It's very unlikely that a killer whale will just pounce over you once it sees you. We're not on its food menu, and there's no recorded fatal or non-fatal interaction between a human and an orca in their natural habitat. However, a few non-fatal incidents have been recorded when orcas were held in captivity. Pretty harsh and ferocious animals, right? Well, we should tell you something light about orcas now. So, here's some fun facts. Do you know that orcas have a very funny way of sleeping? Yes, it sleeps with only one half of its brain, while the other half stays awake. Why is that? Because unlike us, orcas do not have a breathing reflex, which means that they cannot breathe on their own if they're not conscious. They have to remain conscious while sleeping in order to breathe. As their breathing is not automatic like humans, they have to actively decide when to breathe. To get around this, orcas allow only one half of their brain to sleep at a time. The other half stays alert and conscious, enabling the animal to breathe and look out for danger. Another fun fact, they only close one eye when they sleep. The left half will remain closed while the right half of the brain sleeps, and vice versa. This kind of sleep is called unihemispheric sleep, as only one brain hemisphere sleeps at a time. Orcas also keep alternating which side is sleeping periodically, so that its whole body can get the rest it needs without ever losing consciousness. When sleeping, orcas swim very slowly and steadily, close to the surface. Another interesting thing is the way orcas pass on their knowledge to their younger individuals. The knowledge about what to eat and where to get it, how to hunt it, who to avoid, vocalizations and calls unique to pods and family groups, and the distinct accent of the population. It's all really interesting. Why are killer whales the ultimate owner of the ocean? Well, that's because they have no natural predator who could kill them, or at least destabilize their monopoly. Some animals, like the sperm whale or the great white shark, could have served as its natural predator, or at least a competitor, but they both lack certain qualities necessary to counter the ruthless, intelligent planning, unified action, and certain cheekiness of killer whales. For example, sperm whales. Killer whales hunt the females and calves of this species, but are quite reluctant to fight the male of the species. The reason is the heavy and powerful tail of the sperm whale. The tail has the potential ability to deliver fatal blows, and against these blows, orcas would never have a chance, only if the sperm whales were a little more aggressive and smarter. They are huge and weigh about 90 tons, but are not as intelligent as orcas are. They could also use their large teeth against orcas, but only if they were smart enough to realize that. If orcas had to have a natural predator, it would have been a great white shark. Only if the white shark manages to bite the orcas first, the odds would be greatly in its favor. The razor-sharp teeth of a great white shark can pierce even the thickest of skin. But as orcas hunt in groups and have a lethal hunting strategy, the sharks have little chance to take over the orcas. A convincing case could have been made for sea crocodiles, as they have incredible biting power with thick, scaly skin to offer bite resistance. It could have a chance against killer whales, but the jaws would never open up enough to take a chunk off the killer whales. As the killer whale has no natural predator, it's got a monopoly over the ocean. The intelligence, smartness, teamwork, and certain ruthlessness with which it gives its predators a tough time. It certainly deserves the title of killer whale or whale killer. This massive, magnificent, and impressive animal, roaming through the ocean, killing prey larger than itself, and living like it owns the ocean, certainly deserves this name. Blubber chopper in Norway, murder whale in Germany, assassin whale in Portugal, and the feared one in Alaska. Different names may have been used for orcas for centuries in different cultures, but they meant the same thing: the terror and horror inflicted by the orcas or killer whales over its prey.